Hello, I'm Dr. Infinity, and welcome to the channel. This is White Pill Media, and we are always in search of Kino. This week, I'm going to be talking about Badlands. It's a 1973 movie starring Martin Sheen and Sissy Spacek, I believe. This was recommended to me in the comments. If you have something, you'd like me to check out or review, post it below. I might check it out, I might not. If it sounds interesting, I'll give it a go. So, this movie is a neo-noir kind of a crime period piece. I thought it was really good. I'm going to have full spoilers going in, which is what I always do for it. We start with Kit, who is played by Martin Sheen. It's kind of weird to see him in this role because he's usually, a nice guy, just a good guy. But I think he does a really good job. I don't really know Sissy Spacek that much, but she plays Holly in this. Oh, she's in Coal Miner's Daughter. That's a good movie. That's a good movie of Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah, that's actually a good movie. I don't really know what else she's from, but Coal Miner's Daughter, that's pretty good. That's a nice little white pill. I thought the movie was really good overall. I was pretty into it. Learning about the real crime that inspired the movie was pretty fucked up. They kill multiple people. I think the actual woman, Carol Fugate, was, I don't know. It's debatable if she was more complicit or not. I think Holly getting away with everything at the end of Badlands is just, I don't know. I think she should have been in jail, even just for being along for the ride. I think that's a crime in itself. When you're traveling with a mass murderer, you have the ability to alert the authorities to prevent this person from killing more people, and you don't take action. I think that's some level of guilt for sure. Definitely not probation. Anyway, they didn't have this in the movie, but the worst fucking thing is they end up killing Fugate's half-sister, who's 2 years old at the time of her murder. And it's just holy fuck. Holy fuck. I'm kind of glad the movie didn't go that dark. I think that would have been a little too much for the movie, because they're still obviously really fucked up bad people, but it's not as I don't know. It can be really polarizing when you're portraying criminals and crime, because if you make them too bad, then them serving as our protagonist is kind of, I don't know if detrimental is the right word, but it's a tough balance, I guess. And I guess gangster movies or whatever. I'm just gonna point out a couple things I like. I like that Kit's just kind of a fuck up, just this lazy trash guy. Yeah, kind of a ne'er-do-well. I guess that's the best way to describe him. Holly's father obviously doesn't want her hanging around with this guy just because he's, obviously he's trouble and everything. But Holly's just kind of into him, and she talks about not being super popular at school. So you can kind of see while we can see him as for what he is, to her he's kind of impressive. He has a car, etc. He's an older guy, and she thinks he's very sophisticated and smart. Holly's dad ends up killing her dog out of as punishment for seeing Kit behind his back, and that was nice. That was some good, country justice. I enjoyed that.
Found out I'd been running around behind his back. He was madder than I'd ever seen him. As punishment for deceiving him, he went and shot my dog.
Things kick off pretty fast with the murder of Holly's dad, and Kit records this pseudo confession suicide note thing, and he does it in this weird booth. I guess this was an actual thing, because the movie just wouldn't make this shit up, not this movie, but it's a videograph booth, and apparently you could just go in and record yourself, and then you could take that home and I guess play it on a record player. I don't know. It was interesting though. That was really interesting to see. I kind of like old movies, and you can just see more of technology that I don't know if I would have believed that kind of exists. You know what I mean? That was interesting to see. They end up just living out in the woods, and they build this whole little treehouse contraption thing. It's weird, kind of interesting. I like kind of their back and forth because the honeymoon period is sort of over between them. Like Martin Sheen, he has some good lines throughout the movie.
Take a break, Rick.
Yeah, as it just keeps going along, like Kit is just revealing himself like that's not going to be a one-off situation with Holly's dad. This is just going to get worse and worse, and Holly's not really trying to get away, and she's not really trying to stop Kit, you know? So I don't think she's exactly innocent here. But I do like later on when they've gone to Kit's old friend who also like worked the trash route with him. They're taking these two people down to the storm cellar to, you know, murder them because they're like witnesses, or like they would be able to like point the police in their direction, right? Holly is walking with the girl of the group. I think it's like Carol King. That might be like the real life person. I forget the name in the movie, but I believe it's her, and they're walking together, and I feel like this is intentional. Maybe I'm just like really dumb and autistic. That's probably correct. But they're walking together. We have the camera back here, and they're walking forward, and they start off pretty close next to each other, but Holly's just asking like personal questions, like everything's normal, like these people aren't hostages, and they like obviously believe they're going to be killed, and they do get killed. But the woman not so subtly like makes more and more distance as they're walking further up, you know, towards Kit and her boyfriend. And I thought that was nice. I thought that was a nice shot, you know, where they're obviously like a little repulsed and afraid, you know, of the situation, and just her attempts to normalize it and play it down obviously aren't working for this woman. I thought that was good. Yeah, you know, it's just kind of they kind of go around, they kill some more people here and there, and then eventually they're kind of getting caught like just before they're getting to the mountains, which they're, you know, going to try to live in, which, I don't know, that seems pretty far-fetched, but Kit doesn't seem like the type of guy that has it all there. And it's pretty good. You know, it seems like he wants to get caught there. I think just kind of going it alone isn't really what he has in mind when Holly is finally kind of broken herself free of him. And, you know, it's just not, I guess, like romantic anymore for him. You know, it's not like exactly what he wanted, right? It's not exactly what he like pictured in his head of how it was going to go. So he ends up giving himself up. And I really like the scene where he's captured and he's in all these chains, and he is kind of a movie star. You know, he's sort of the center of attention with all these like cops standing around, and he's you know, entertaining them with like questions and answers. He's like tossing them little souvenirs from himself so they have some sort of keepsake, something to talk about. It's a nice scene, you know, and that's the end of the movie. You know, he's executed. Charles Starkweather was executed as well. The real woman ended up serving 17 and a half years. It was a life sentence, but it was paroled after 17 and a half years. And that feels more justified. That feels like more justice than in the movie where Holly just gets probation. That doesn't feel exactly correct to me. But anyways, I thought this was a really solid movie. I, you know, do reviews on a lot of stuff like throughout the channel. It's kind of this or that, but I guess some movies I would recommend would be Hardcore, 1979. That's kind of a gritty, like, I guess, anti-pornography movie. It's got George C. Scott. It's really good. I think it's a better Taxi Driver. And then Gattaca is a sci-fi dystopian piece with Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman. I really like it. It's probably like my favorite relationship in movies. Yeah, I just really like it. It's good. It's kind of dystopian and all, but it's got like good messages, and it's just like it's a positive ending, you know. It's an uplifting movie, you know. And I feel like some more of those, you know, that's probably good for people to see. Anyways, thanks for watching. Dr. Infinity out.